Hello, my dear Aries, and welcome back to the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade, and I am here to bring you a detailed June reading for all of those who have a sun sign of Aries, moon sign of Aries, rising sign of Aries, or just have a lot of prominent Aries in their chart, or are a cross watcher and just have someone that you love that's an Aries. This is going to be a intuitive tarot reading that is leveraging some of the areas that the astrological houses hold. But it is an intuitive tarot reading to just take a look into what's up for you in June, what are the energies around you, and how can you be most successful to, as I say here, bring more abundant joy into your world in June. So let's see what's going on. I've already prayed over and selected the cards for the Aries June reading, and here we go. So this is let me just give you an overview of the reading itself. So you're going to have a significator card, which has already been revealed here, which is going to be the moon card. We'll dig into that. Then there is another card that's like a message from the Starry Beginnings Oracle deck that we will look at as an overarching energy of the reading. Then we're going to go into these different areas. And in each area, the first area, we're going to look at your self-perception, how other people perceive you, and your networks, your communities. The second area we're going to look at is going to be your career, your income, and your resources. Your third area is going to be love, partnership, and family. Your fourth area is going to be your health and wellness. Your fifth area will be your expression, as well as higher learning and adventure for the month of June. And then finally, your sixth area is going to be what is going on underneath the surface, the unconscious, and spirituality realm. And then finally, we have a few oracle cards here with just general guidance for your month from Spirit. So that's the layout. And we're going to go right into this reading. As I said, this is for my Aries. So Aries, in terms of an overall energy that we have for the month, we have the moon card. Okay. So I'm interested to see how that's going to get played out for us. I am also an Aries. I haven't actually looked at these cards. I've just pulled them except for the moon card. But I'm interested to see how that gets played out for us. The moon card can be a very beautiful card in regards to going into the depth of feelings. The two dogs that are represented there in the moon card is sort of representing the light and the shadow, and those being able to come together. And there's this sense of being able to go deep into feeling and emotion. The thing that can be challenging about the moon card is that it also can represent illusions, misconceptions, deception. Not really deception. Deception's not really the word I'm looking for. More like mystery, things being hidden, things being unknown, things going on underneath the surface, right? The unconscious, things that we're not aware of that can be hidden from us. It's kind of the way that I experience the moon card is kind of like when you have a high level of emotion and your fog, you don't have as much clarity. There isn't as much logic there. The shadows seem to be bigger when you have a higher level of emotion. So that's kind of the energy of the moon card, but we're going to see how it gets played out in the rest of the reading to help guide us. So we'll come back to this, but this is your significator for the month of June. Okay, and so then you've also got, you are being called into service. Believe in your own guidance. And this is a beautiful card. The number here is 5. And so I feel like there may be, some of you may feel challenged by this idea of being called into service. But what I'm getting from this intuitively is that Spirit is asking you to, or asking us to relax into a call to service. Step into a call of service with a sense of joy, because the truth is, it is really a blessing to be able to be in a space to be of service to anyone, whether or not that's just giving a smile at the local grocery store, or whether that's giving millions of dollars if you have it like that. So this is, again, we'll see how this continues to get played out, but these are the two overarching energies for the month of June for Aries. So being called into service and this moon energy overarching. So let's jump into the first area of this reading, which is going to be your self-perception, as well as others' perceptions of you, as well as your groups, your networks, your communities. So this could be your various communities, but how to interact with them, and we'll see what resonates. Okay, so before moving to the first area, I was feeling like I needed to understand more about this card here, because it seemed so expansive, right? In terms of there's shadow and light there, but overall there's sort of this rainbow essence here. And so I was trying to understand it better. So I went to go consult to get more information. So that I could come back. And I'm glad that I did, because what it is saying for us, Aries, is that you have been through a period of growth, and some things that you thought were going to go a certain direction didn't go in that direction. And maybe you even have a feeling that maybe you failed at something, or something didn't succeed, right? And what this card is saying here is that actually everything that you have done has all been for a purpose. You are on the path that you need to be on. And not only that, but the setbacks that you have experienced most recently are going to have aided in your exponential growth. And that growth is what you are going to be leaning into. And that's why we need to believe in our own guidance, because at this point, what you have learned, it is now time to take the steering wheel back, okay? You need to believe in your own guidance and the all-powerful presence of spirit within that has your back. Believe and trust in this, okay? It says that your journey forward will be smooth. You are always taken care of. You can see that and know that to be true. Much has changed in you. So you can congratulate yourself, Aries, okay? Because all is well in your world. You are and always will be a gift to the earth. Stand tall and ground your power in the earth. Channel your higher spirit into your heart and take guidance from there, okay? Empowered by spirit, be free, be you. Let the world see. Okay, so this is a beautiful energy that's overarching the whole month. And so I feel like that also ties back into the moon card, is that this, because I was seeing this and I was like, okay, there feels like there's this illusion. It almost feels like illusionary energy. And I feel like there's been a bit of covering over you, Aries, over the past couple of months, and that this energy of things not being clear, those elusive things of the moon, are going to begin to clear in the month of June. And the way that that's going to clear is by you leaning unto your own guidance and the guidance of spirit. All right. So anyway, that is what I'm glad I did that, because that kind of gives us more clear view of what this overarching energy is. So now let's dig into the first area. So the first area, again, is going to be how you perceive yourself, how other people perceive you, and your networks or communities. And the way that I did this time is you've got 2 tarot cards. So you've got the 8 of emotions. All right. And then you've got, this is supposed to be upright, the 10 of Pentacles, okay, which is wonderful. And then you've got an oracle card of love. Okay, so this is about, I'm really like, the first thing I got when I turn this over is that because of what you've recently been through, my beautiful Aries, you have developed a greater sense of self-love. this really feels to me like self-love. The green is also the color of the heart chakra. So there's this sense of like there's this opening in you, like a greater groundedness, a greater understanding in all that is possible within the realm of love, within the heart space. Okay. So in regards to your networks, okay, I feel like this Eight of Emotions is really tying to maybe one, how other people are perceiving you, but also how you need to maneuver. Okay. So the Eight of Emotions is the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups speaks of a need to walk away. Okay. There's a letting go that needs to occur here to things that are no longer serving you. There's also this sense of like, it's interesting to me because you can see she's got this shadow here, and it's like she's walking away from the shadow. Okay. And it's interesting because we've got that moon card overarching here, and the way that this is sort of like an eclipse, like the shadow is covering her so that she can walk into the light and leave the shadow behind. And so what this card is telling me is that for some of you, Aries, you need to look at the networks that you're in and determine if there are certain networks that you need to walk away from the shadow, right? Walk into the light. That may mean leaving a particular group or a different organization or thing that you're dealing with, or it may be just walking away from the negativity or the darkness within that network and moving toward the light of that network, if that makes sense. So that can be stepping away from certain people, that can be stepping away from certain organizations, it could be stepping away from certain mindsets, concepts, okay, in terms of how you're thinking about yourself, your networks, or how you're thinking about how other people think of you. Okay. So there's a need to kind of let go of what is no longer serving you. And the beautiful thing is that you've got this in connection with the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles, when we talk about networks, this is beautiful because this is, that card that is one of the wish fulfilled cards in the tarot deck, but it really talks about community, family, abundance. Like the Ten of Pentacles is like financial abundance, stability, joy, happiness, but being in community, that family unit, that community space that makes you feel whole and happy and at peace. Right? And so this is a beautiful card to have to start off the reading here in regards to how you're perceiving yourself and how others are seeing you. So really joyful energy, although there is this need to let go of what is no longer serving you. And because also this is the Eight of Emotions, it just is reminding me of the emotional space. Like it's almost, to me, it feels like there's a need to let go of some feelings. And I'm also hearing from Spirit that there's a need for forgiveness. And that forgiveness may be forgiveness of self, but it also may be forgiveness of others. And then the ability to let it go and just continue to move forward. All right. So that is what I am seeing here for that first area. Now let's look into your second area. Your second area is going to be your career, your income, and your resources. All right. So I'm going to put that there. And then you've got the Hanged Muse or the Muse. All right. Okay. The Six of Swords. So there's some things that you're going to need to walk away from in the month of June. You're going to make some decisions to change course. Okay. That's not necessarily a bad thing. So that's why I'm saying it the way that I'm saying it. Okay. And then healing. Okay. All right. Okay. And so this is in regards to your career, your income, and your resources. So what I'm seeing here, this is actually a pretty clear message here, because the Hanged Muse is that pause, that need to take a pause, that need to step into a place of reflection where you can get connected with, look at that, the third eye. Get connected with your intuition and the divine and allow that information to help guide you on steps forward, but to literally stop and pause, because the Hanged Muse is in a place of stuckness, but there's a stuckness here with an intention of reflection, okay, with an intention of downloads from spirit to help guide you in terms of getting unstuck and how to move forward. So for many of you, with regards to your career, your income, and your finances, you're going to be doing some reevaluating within the month of June. You're going to be looking at what is working for you and what is not working for you. You're going to tap into your intuition. Some of you already know that there are some either jobs that you're working on, areas within your career, or sources of income that are not working for you. They're not flowing the way they need to flow. You're putting in way more work than you need to put in to be able to get what little bit you're able to get out of it. And you're knowing that you need to make some sort of shift, okay? And so this reading is just saying, like, yes, it's going to be important to do that. And one of the things is going to let you know that is going to be the correct direction for you in terms of moving is that two things, actually. One is that you're going to, by releasing it, when you make the decision to say, I'm going to let this go, I'm either going to let this job go, I'm going to let this activity go, I'm going to let this income go, I'm going to let this resource go, right? Because we're talking about career, income, and resources, that you get a sense of healing. You get this sense of like calm, peace that comes over you when you make that decision to let it go. Then you're going to know that's the right thing to do, because part of this process of letting go right now is leading toward your healing. It's leading to your wholeness, your completeness. Sometimes we're working really hard and we're trying to pull in, a bunch of different things, but one of them is just dripping, but we're putting all the energy into that. When there's another source, in this case, a source of income that is going to be more abundant for you, more, it will get you closer to what you need and actually would bring you more joy. But for some reason, you've got a mindset that's got you stuck on this one way. Maybe it's a way that you just believed would be the right way, right? So it's just like there's a need for you to have openness around what you're letting go of, because you definitely got this Six of Swords here. Now, the Six of Swords, what I like about the Six of Swords card is that it speaks to, yes, leaving something behind, but it also speaks to divine help coming in at just the right time and getting you safely to shore, even in the midst of a storm. All right. So there's a sense here. It's kind of, I'm being reminded again of this idea of trust that we hear in this first card, to believe in your own guidance and to trust in the guidance from spirit that is coming through you. Okay. Because these crows represent spirit kind of coming in and carrying you to safely to the river's edge or to the ocean's edge. Right. So you're really being protected through the moves that are happening with your career and income and resources within the month of June. But you are going to need to make some choices after a period of reflection and pause. Okay. All right. So that is what I'm seeing there. Now, in regards to your third area, which is going to be your love, your partnerships, and your family. I'm going to move this because these are for at the end. Okay, and you've got the Five of Voices, which is going to be the Five of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, that's interesting, okay, and abundance. So the Five of Swords really speaks about conflict, okay? But it's interesting the way this is being portrayed here. It's like there's an opportunity within your, partnerships, within your family, within your domestic realm, right? For there to be, it's almost like there's like this, I believe these are olives. So it's like an olive branch being extended between two conflicting, opinions where, you're not really looking at each other, right? You're not really seeing each other's point of view, that there's an opportunity for an olive branch to be extended through connection to the divine, right? And there's this idea of sort of like letting go, I'm seeing them as almost like in a meditative state, this sense of being able to release, right? So that these new ideas can come in. But the card itself, the Five of Swords, does speak about conflict, misunderstandings, arguments, struggle, not seeing eye to eye. Okay. But this card in particular, what I'm really hearing from Spirit is that in the month of June, you're going to have an opportunity for reconciliation, or, and that extension of the olive branch. That idea of the olive branch is like a peace treaty, if you will, within your relationships, right? To come to a new place, to gain a better understanding of the other. And the other reason why I'm getting that too is you've got the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles is a card of balanced giving and receiving, an easy flow of giving and receiving, almost a sense of charity as well, but a charity in the sense that each one is giving of themselves as they can give of themselves, and it is balanced, right? And so that is a really nice card to have with this Five of Swords, because although you may be feeling a bit of conflict, you may be feeling imbalance, you may be feeling like things are a bit unstable, there's a sense here that within June, that can be restored, or that can come into play if it hasn't been in play, right? Within your family unit, within your love partnerships, okay? And the other thing that you've got here is you've got abundance, and this is also just a reminder that within your love relationships, we saw, where was I seeing that? The love, when I was talking about this love card here and thinking about the heart chakra, and there's this opening for you, Aries, within the love chakra, the heart chakra. And I really get the sense that like this abundance card, is, okay, I don't know why that just hit me. So, if any Aries out there are looking for, within your relationships, within your partnership, if you're looking for an addition of some kind, like a new birth, a child, to foster a child, to bring an addition into your family, what I got intuitively from this card is that this can happen for you within the month of June, that opening, that beginning can happen. So if you're looking to foster a child or to adopt a child, this is what keeps coming in my head, that like you're going to make significant progress within the month of June to move forward with that. If you are wanting to get pregnant, or, to be able to move forward with a birth, you're going to have some help with a pregnancy within the month of June. I don't know what, that just kind of came as I'm holding this card and looked down at this card, and that's what came up. So I'm just sharing that with you. Now, the abundance card, though, I think also in regards to your, your partnerships, is that I'm really getting a sense of an abundance, a generosity of spirit, right? Because we've got this ease and give and flow, and that there's this sense of, when you are feeling abundant, like everything, you have everything that you need and more, that just opens up your capacity to give that much more. And so there's this sense here that within your partnerships, that's why this olive branch can be given, because you will be able to be open to reconciliation and love, and just an easy flow of allowing that to come forward, right? A beautiful blossoming is what I'm hearing, like a beautiful blossoming of love within your family units and within your partnerships within the month of June. So that's actually really, really lovely, you all. So whatever conflicts you've been dealing with, understand that, either you or your partner, or if it's within the family, then it's like, between the children and the parents, or just whatever the domestic realm is, whatever it might be, that there is going to be a sense of generosity, a generosity of spirit, and openness to come to a balanced give and take. All right, that's lovely. Okay, so now let's look at your fourth area, which is going to be your health and wellness. Okay, And you've got the Four of Inspirations, okay, the Seven of Pentacles, and Strength. Look at that. Okay. I love that. Okay. So the Four of Inspirations is going to be the Four of Wands. All right. And the Four of Wands, what I love about that within your health and wellness is that the Four of Wands often represents a foundation. So I feel like many of you have been starting to build a foundation with regards to your health and wellness. Some of you may have started or have just gathered the information to start a new meal program or an exercise program. Some of you have, reached out to decide, oh, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do this group therapy or this just, get a therapist to kind of work on my mental, emotional space. Like you've started something that will aid your health and wellness in some way. You may have started a meditation practice or whatever that is. But what this card is telling to me is that you've begun to lay a foundation of something that is going to grow and prosper for you. You've got the Seven of Pentacles, which said some of you may have started it some time ago and you're watching it and you're waiting it to grow. It hasn't come to harvest yet. So it hasn't come to completion yet, but it is growing, and there's so much abundance that's going on underneath the surface. So whatever it is that you have started or that you're working on, or maybe you have the idea and you haven't yet laid the foundation for it, get at it, Aries, because this is a very prosperous idea that you've got working on when it comes to your health and wellness. That if, whatever it might be, even if you're thinking, because this just came into my head, like if you're thinking, it's difficult or it's complicated or whatever it is, the suggestion here from Spirit is to call a friend or call either do it in a group with other people or to just call a friend and say, hey, you know what, I really want to do this. Can you support me in doing this? Whether or not they're doing it with you or not, just they could be an accountability partner or whatever it is, but that they can support you to move forward, because actually you have everything that you need internally. You don't actually need that, but you may feel like you can't move, like you are feeling a bit stagnant or in the mud. And I think that also has something to do with this moon energy too. Like there's just this energy that's like not allowing you to see 100% clearly. Okay. And so the message from Spirit is that you actually have this and you do have a level of clarity in terms of what you need to do with regards to your health and wellness. And you just need to move forward with it. But if it's going to help you to call that friend and say, hey, this is what I want to do. I just need somebody to support me on it. Can you call me once a week and see how I'm doing on it or whatever it might be? That will help you to move out of the fog. And very soon that fog is going to clear anyway, and you're going to be moving forward. But just to keep yourself moving forward, or if you're in a place where you've been working on something with your health, you've done a lot of work, it's been a long time, and you feel like you're not really seeing any progress, then this Seven of Pentacles cards is saying, hang in there, keep going, keep persevering, because it is blossoming. But I can tell you that in the month of June, you will see sprouts. You will see some results from what you have been putting in. It's just that it's not going to feel like it's fully blooming. Okay. But pay attention to the seedlings, pay attention to the sprouts. Okay. Because that is your guidance that what you're doing is working and you need to keep going at it. All right. And then you've got this beautiful Strength card, which is calling you to tap into your own strength. Trust and know that you have the capability to move forward with whatever it is that you need to do for your health and wellness. All right. So the other thing about this Strength card is that it really talks about what strength really comes from. And it talks about strength coming from hardship rather than coming from winning. And that what the strength is when you're able to move through a hardship and not give up and keep moving forward. Okay. And so this is reminiscent to me of what we're seeing here with the moon card that's overarching the energy, as well as believing in your own guidance, because in that card, we're really talking about that there may have been some setbacks that have, taught you some very valuable lessons. And so this is being echoed in the strength card. The other thing about each of these cards is that they represent various chakras, and the strength card here represents the root or the base chakra. Okay, so and it talks about bravery, perseverance, and confidence. So there's really this idea here that, within your health and wellness, if you've been struggling with something, or you've been trying to take steps and move forward, that it's at this time in June, it's all of these cards are really saying you are building a foundation, keep moving forward, trust that it's going to grow, and trust in your own guidance and your own strength to be able to get you there, because you're on the road. Okay, you're on the road, beautiful Aries. All right, so now we're going to go into your fifth area, which is your area of expression, higher learning, and adventure. All right. And so what we have here, okay, Ace of Inspiration, the Six of Cups, and Advocate. Okay. So okay. Yes. Okay, good. Okay. Sorry, I'm just taking it all in. So the Ace of Inspirations is going to be the Ace of Wands. So in regards to self-expression and higher learning and adventure, the Ace of Inspirations is a wonderful card to have here, because remember, aces are beginnings, and then the Ace of Wands is all, wands represent fire, and it's all about passion and creativity and moving yourself forward. And, this is the idea of getting downloads from the divine that blossom, that just blossom out of, this is a succulent, right? That just it just continues to stay sturdy and strong and blossoming, right? And it doesn't need as much to be able to blossom and to stay sturdy and strong, right? But this tells me that within the month of June, you are going to have a lot of opportunity to be able to express yourself and to tap into your creativity, tap into that which you are passionate about, tap into that energy that really gets you going and jazzed about moving things forward, and dig in there to do that. Now, the other thing is you've got this Six of Cups, which I think is actually quite lovely with this, because the Six of Cups is that nostalgia card. So it talks about like your inner child, your childhood memories of things. All right. And so what this is telling me is that with regards to your expression and your higher learning within the month of June, some things that are old may become new again, because you've got this burst of newness that's happening with this Ace of Inspirations. And then you've got this nostalgia with the Six of Cups. So it's like you may be working on creative things that are stemming from the past, right? Are stemming from the past, because, there are beautiful things within our past. And, when we take things, I'm just getting this sense of, what's that word that I want to use? It's like retrograde, or what? Like when we take something and make something old new again, right? That, people do that all the time, even with the, sequels of movies coming out, or like redoing, some sitcom or something that, and it can be very, very prosperous. And I feel like within the month of June, as you look over your past and you look over your history, what was that thing that you were passionate about that maybe you took it so far, but you didn't really take it all the way there? Within the month of June, it's like there's an opening to rebirth that, right? Rebirth that and take it to a whole new level, right? Like tap into your creativity. And now with all of the information, all of that you have learned, because, it talked about earlier, we talked about that your growth was going to be exponential, meaning that it's going to just continue. It's going to like multiply upon itself. So it's like when you go back to something old, even if you had some success with it, what you see now with the energy and the information that you have moving forward is going to be phenomenally different. Okay, beautiful Aries. So that is a place. So if you're wondering, okay, where should I go? If you're trying to debate between different projects, for instance, and one of them has like a history tip on it, or like it has to do with memory in some way, or has to do with something from your past, or a childhood memory, or is nostalgic in some way. That's the one that you want to go with, because this reading is saying that is going to be prosperous for you. Okay. The other thing is you've got this Advocate card. Okay. And the first thing I thought when I turned over the Advocate card is that you need to step into your strength and advocate for yourself. Okay. That there's a need for you to really step up 100% for yourself. Okay. So, this says, don't be so worried about, sometimes we don't want to advocate for ourselves or speak wholly in our truth and let our voice be heard because we're worried about stepping on somebody else's toes or coming across in a certain way. Okay. But this card is saying that speaking up actually deeply matters. So within the month of June, not only do you need to speak up for yourself, but you can also advocate for others. Okay. It's important for yourself and others to not remain silent. Okay. You cannot allow injustice either to yourself or to others to go unchecked. It's time that you use your voice, that you be heard, and that you make your words count. Okay, so approach each situation from a place of love and with the intention of creating real positive change and with a genuine interest in bettering the circumstances for everybody involved. Okay, so this card really speaks about promoting, vocalizing, encouraging, supporting yourself and others. And the chakra that it's speaking to is your throat chakra. Okay, and it's so beautiful that it's falling into your area of expression and higher learning and adventure. There's a need for you you cannot suppress yourself in the month of June. You need to be able to speak out. Okay. It says, as I give a voice to myself, I give a voice to those who are unable to speak for themselves. In Aries, powerhouses. Okay. And so you have a big voice and you need to use it within the month of June. And it may be that within the work that you're doing, within, any kind of creative expression that you're doing, and, whatever that looks like, that you're going to be using your voice to do that. Okay. So whether that's, through speaking or performing or, dancing or whatever it might be, even within, a regular, like what seems like a regular, everyday, job, whether it's in engineering, project management, whatever it is, you need to advocate for yourself and for others within the month of June. So, and that is interesting because it actually brings us back to you're being called into service. You're going to be called into service to be able to use your voice, beautiful Aries. You're very talented. You have a lot of ability. You're a fierce spirit. Okay. And so Spirit is really wanting you to really tap into that energy. Okay. Shake the illusions, okay, by using your voice and being a point of clarity. Now let's look at what's going on in the undercurrent, the unconscious, for you in the month of June. Okay, you've got the Knight of Materials, which is the Knight of Pentacles, the Lovers, okay, and Motivate. Yeah, I really feel like, with the Advocate card and, this idea of your strength, and you've got love, healing, abundance, strength, advocate, and motivate within for these oracle cards here. And I love that for you. I love that this card, because this card, what I'm really getting here too is that, oh, wow. Okay, beautiful Aries. So what I'm getting here is that some of you have been feeling, it's not that things are not necessarily going well per se, but you've been feeling under the unconscious. You've been feeling a bit unmotivated. You've been feeling a bit stagnant, right? What we saw here in this sort of hanged muse, right? You've been feeling like, and maybe some of you have been beating yourself up about how you're feeling, okay? And so I feel like what this card is saying is that you need to allow yourself to motivate yourself, okay? You're going to need to motivate yourself. And also trust and believe that you have the ability to do just that. Because what I'm getting is that some of you have been, it's like you're moving along and then you feel like, why am I doing this? You're just feeling stuck in some way, overwhelmed. I get a bit of sadness from this card here, just in looking at it, but there's also like triumph, right? So there's a bit of sadness, but then there's also like this intuition, tapping into your intuition, tapping into your flow. Right. So there's a need for you, some of you, because we're talking about the unconscious, what's going on in the spiritual level. There's a need for you to tap into your motivation by tapping into an initial spark or idea that you've got burning down inside there. Let it come forward. Take steps toward making that idea manifest. Even if you just take one small step, that's going to help motivate you to move forward. Okay. So the key ingredient working hand in hand with motivation is consistency. So what's important to be able to keep moving is that you got to keep moving, right? Like you got to take the step. So if you feel like you're stuck, what I am going to encourage you and compel you to do is to take some action. Take some action toward what it is that brings you joy, that gets you that spark, that gets your passion going. Okay. This card is also speaking to the throat chakra. Okay. So there's a need for you to, I feel like, how they say, like, if you want to learn something deeply, teach it. And I feel like for you all within the month of June, your voice is going to be, as being an advocate for others is going to be a motivating force for you. Okay. So that's the thing about Aries, you can just do it, right? Like you can just take action. Just take action because that's a sweet spot for you anyway. So take action. So that you can address what's going on. The other thing that's happening for you kind of unconscious is that there's a connection that's going on underneath here. So we've got the Lover's card. We've got it in this realm of the unconscious, what's going on underneath the surface. So some of you are either developing feelings, and that's happening on the undercurrent. But the other thing that I'm getting very strongly from this is that the Lover's card is also about choice. It is also about the duality of masculine and feminine, and that coming together, and that can come together within yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be outside of yourself, but it does often represent partnership. But because of where it is right now, because we're talking about what's going on in unconscious, what's going on in the spiritual level, I feel like there is a union that is happening for you on a psychic level underneath the surface. All right. And that union is going to be part of what is going to move you forward exponentially, as we talked about, because it is growth. It is growth that's moving forward. And Spirit is saying that you are moving carefully, deliberately. Maybe it seems slow to you, particularly as an Aries. You may feel like it's going slowly, but the Knight of Pentacles is a slow moving energy, but it is an energy that is moving towards success. All right. So you are taking the steps and you're being asked to continue to be deliberate and move forward. So again, to motivate yourself, I need you to just take some action. It doesn't have to be a big action. It just needs to be a step. And then to keep taking steps, because motivation comes through consistency. Okay. But there is growth. There is connection. There is balance that is happening underneath the surface. And some of you may have been feeling unmotivated. This just came to me because you are dealing with needing to make a choice about something, and that's going on. You're needling over it in the unconscious, and it's just kind of sitting there, and you haven't quite made the choice that you need to make. There's something that's undercurrent there. And so what Spirit is saying in regards, if that's a question for you, the answer is that you need to just take action. Just take action. Do something. Make the phone call. Reach out. Write the letter. Send the text. Like whatever that action is, that you're like, should I do this? Should I do? Just do it. Do it and understand that you're taking things one step at a time. It may not give you an immediate, response, but what Spirit is saying is that it's consistency. So take that one action and then take the next action and then take the next action and then take the next action. And I'm really getting that this could be for some of you all. I feel like some of this is connected to a relationship or communication that you need to have within a relationship. And for some reason you have been stuck, and it is important for you to take action. That's all. I mean, just take action. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing for your month of June. And overall, I feel like what I'm seeing here is kind of speaking to what this overarching energy was, is that there are some clouds, some fog, if you will, that's going to be dispelled within this month of June, and that you're being called to speak up, stand in your power, stand in your strength. And also I think the big energy was in like this sort of moving forward, because I love that, we started off with this beautiful 10 of Pentacles and this love energy, right? So there's some beautiful energies that are being weaved within and throughout your month. There's just going to be some need for pause. There's going to be a need for evaluation, letting go of some things that are no longer serving you and some ideas that are no longer serving you. And then moving forward, taking action, even if you don't have all of the information you need to make a decision. Just make a decision based on the information that you have. Now, finally, let's look at the messages from Spirit. So you've got the energy, the animal energy that is overarching, set healthy boundaries. The armadillo spirit. Okay. Set healthy boundaries. All right. And then from your higher self, you've got trust. Okay. And this card is all about trust the path that you're on, trust the divine, and trust yourself. Okay. So this is confirmation that you are exactly where you need to be. And many of you may have been getting signs and synchronicities that let you know, yeah, I know I'm on the right path. It just feels a little, this is what I'm hearing, like, you're on the right path. It just feels a little like stagnant, or just like it's not moving. It's not moving at the pace that you want it to be moving at. But trust, my dear Aries, that it is going to pick up for you. It is actually moving. There's a lot going on for you right now underneath the surface. And so it's really important that you just stick with it and keep moving forward. Do not give up. Continue to persevere, because great things are stewing underneath the surface for you. That is what I am hearing very clearly. Okay. And then you've got, look at that. So you've got flying and you've got ride the wave. So this is exactly what I was just talking about. Like, ride the wave is like go with the flow. Just hang in for the ride, Aries. Just go for it. Just relax into it. Dolphins have a very joyful, happy energy. And there's this sense here of like, just allow yourself to be present, be in the present moment, and celebrate each day. Like, just find that joy and ride the wave. Ride the wave, because right now in your life, you may be going through some things that feel like they're up and down, but it's not bad. It's not necessarily bad. It's just that that's kind of the flow. And so Spirit is saying, just go with the flow. It's going to make it a more joyful June for you, a more joyful experience, to just allow yourself to be easy. Go easy, right? Go easy. And then you've got this beautiful flying card. And I love this card because it's magical. And it's really speaking of allowing yourself to come up above all of the things that are disturbing you, or, in the nitty gritty of your world, right? Because this horse is flying above, and by flying up above the nitty gritty of the world, the horse is able to see how to maneuver through this maze. Because when you're down in it, you're unable to really navigate the maze because you can't see what is going on. But by flying up above it, you're able to see, oh, got it. Right. I don't need to even be down in this mess right here. I need to just be rising higher, take the high road, right? So this is the sense of sort of like being able to lift yourself out of the mundane, look at the broader picture, broaden your horizons so that you can navigate the mazes of your life. All right. That's what I'm seeing, y'all. So I hope this resonated with you. This armadillo spirit here is really talking about, it says talking about setting healthy boundaries. And I feel like that's the part of navigating through this maze and trusting yourself, trusting your own guidance. There may be some people, some situations, some activities, some projects in which you're going to have to hold a firm line. You need to speak up for yourself, advocate for yourself, and advocate for others. So there's this balance of like strength, being clear about like how you need to be treated and how others need to be treated, as well as just hanging tight, as they say, like go with the flow. Okay. That's what I'm seeing for you all for the month of June. So I hope this is helpful to you. I hope that you have an abundantly joyful month of June. Thank you for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot. If you have not already subscribed, please click that subscribe button and I'll be happy to have you in the community. Send like, share, or drop a comment down in the comment section for me to let me know what resonates with you. That is always helpful. And I will see you in the next reading. Okay, bye-bye.